This is Create the Next from ProCFO Partners, where every week we explore strategies and ideas for financial management and growth to help today's businesses put their financial picture in context.
Welcome back to Create the Next. I am Chris Bentliff, and I'm joined today by John Carr of Despir Logistics Network. John is a managing partner and CEO, and he's here to share a little bit about his business and about what makes him tick and his relationship with ProCFO Partners. John, it's great to see you. It's great to have you. Let's talk a little bit about Despir Logistics. What do you guys do? Who do you do it for? How long have you been doing it? That kind of stuff.
So Despir Logistics is a brokerage, is a transportation brokerage that specializes in high value and ultra high value transportation. So we manage high risk, high value cargo for mostly certainly Fortune 500 companies, some Fortune 1000, but it's a very specialized company. The psychographic of our buyer is somebody that needs to transport goods in a very secure, controlled fashion.
And how long has Despir been in business? How long have you been doing this?
Almost 7 years.
Interesting. So did you start with the business model of kind of high-end transportation, or did you evolve into that?
No, that was the target from the beginning.
So did you recognize that there was a gap in the market? Did you recognize we could do this better than others are doing? Tell me a little bit about how your value proposition came to be.
Yeah, so I wish I could claim that I was the visionary, but I'm not. My business partner, Ron Devitt, is actually the visionary. I met him. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I sold what I thought was my last company in 2010. And I actually met Ron playing golf. And he's been in logistics for, his whole career, really. And he had a very clear vision for this company. So I helped him build out a venture model. And he went in and pitched it to a couple different companies, and they wouldn't fund it. So I did. He identified the market, and I don't know if you're familiar with blue ocean strategy or not. It's a way it's a methodology for creating uncontested space in a market, we're basically in an uncontested blue ocean today. There really is nobody else in our space.
I imagine that there are challenges. Fleet management, logistics, literally, security, all these sorts of things that are just part of your day to day. What do you recognize as kind of, the challenges that you're consistently trying to overcome or innovate against, or we haven't figured this one out yet, but we're still working on it?
So that's a great question. I think we've got most of it figured out at this point. It's just a question of execution at the stage that we're at. Companies go through stages of development just like people do. This is what I term a third stage, an early third stage company. So at this point, it's all about market dynamics and extending middle management. But, our basic processes are in place. We have a quality management system that we've developed. We've baked those processes directly into a transportation management solution that we have. Most general commodities brokerages, they touch a transaction between 3 to 5 times. On average, we touch a transaction anywhere between 20 and 25 times.
Wow.
To ensure that the goods are handled appropriately.
That, for me, is really interesting as a marketing guy. So the customer experience is really front and center for your kind of how you do business, your value proposition, I guess, to deliver a peace of mind to your clients.
When you think about it, if you're transporting a load of, say, a trailer full of Coca-Cola, right? So you receive the work order from a customer, right? You dispatch a truck to go get it. You notify the customer when it's been picked up, and you probably notify them when it's been delivered, and you get a proof of delivery. Somebody signs for the delivery, right? Versus us, 20 to 25 touches. So if it's a refrigerated shipment, we verify that the refrigerated trailer is set to the correct temperature, as an example. We get photos of the thermostat. There's a whole process that we run that is very granular and that ensures a successful delivery.
I love this level of thoughtfulness. Is kind of transportation and logistics, as you described yourself as a serial entrepreneur, is this an area of expertise for you, or is this kind of new for you in the last 7 years too?
No, never. In fact, all of my other companies, with the exception of this one and a film production company that I set up in Atlanta, were in software and technology.
Isn't that something? So is this, what do you bring from all of this dynamic sort of diverse experiences? How do you feel like that's positioned you for success in a unique way with leadership in this company?
I know how to scale businesses. I mean, it's what I do. It's what I've done. I've developed a whole, methodology or process for taking companies from a bootstrap startup, which it's really the way I like to work is, you bootstrap a company, you give it just enough money to get off the ground. If you give a company, my own personal belief, because I've actually done it both ways, I think if you overfund a company through private equity, it's like giving a child too much money. It never learns the lessons that it needs to learn in order to grow into a successful adult, right? So they need to struggle. It needs to be a struggle. It should be a struggle.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you develop new muscles when you operate like that. You don't have the luxury of fat and flab. You gotta kind of hunt for your meal every day, and I think that there's a lot of value in that.
Because otherwise, what happens is the company as a whole doesn't learn the life lessons or the business lessons it needs, and then all of a sudden, whoever invested in that company goes, "Well, wait a second, it's time to make a profit." Right? And everybody runs around in a panic. How are we going to do that? Right?
I think that is a really great perspective. And I like that you seem to have a philosophical bent to the way that you lead. Yeah, you come with a thoughtfulness, not just a pragmatism, but maybe complemented with a perspective and an experienced perspective on not just the how, but also the why or the context, as my friend Halle likes to talk about. Do you agree with that?
I do. Very much so.
Let's talk a little bit about ProCFO Partners. So you've been working with Halle Fardy, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what brought you to her? You've got all this dynamic experience in business leadership, part-time CFO kind of arrangement. What was appealing to you about that or interesting to you there?
Yeah. So again, stages of development within companies, right? So to hire someone like Halle at the stage that we were at when we first engaged her would be like bringing a howitzer to a knife fight, right? Full time, it's way overkill, right? But again, there are stages where that level of expertise is absolutely necessary, and it goes beyond my innate ability, and is certainly well within her wheelhouse. She's absolutely brilliant. So
she is one of the smartest people I've ever met. What do you feel like? I don't know. Was there anything surprising about as you got into a relationship with her, or the way that she approaches things, or the perspective that she has, or what kind of skill set did she bring that really complemented yours and your teams and the organizations?
Well, certainly financial modeling, but she asked. I think she asked great questions. She was constantly challenging the status quo. Business models are all about assumptions. Most people make their assumptions and then believe them, and that's a dangerous thing to do, right? So it was really good to have somebody come in and challenge our assumptions and ask, does that really make sense? What's the truth of that assumption? Has it really proven out?
What do you feel like is the long-term value of that? Has it instilled new ways of thinking for you and your team? Has it recalibrated your ideas about maybe we should be second-guessing our assumptions a little bit more?
Yeah, I don't know. Recalibrated, maybe. It certainly gave us a great foundation to get from where we were when we engaged them to where we are today. Right. So it certainly, I think her engagement, it was the right person at the right time. and created a very solid foundation for us to take the step to the next level.
And is this, if you look at the future, what is the future for Despir? So you're 7 years in.
Yep.
I'm not trying to get into your ideas of exit strategies or things like that, but as Halle has maybe been a part of things, do you see a full-time CFO in your future, or no, this is going to cook right along until it doesn't, and then we'll figure it out?
Sure. We've actually, we're at the stage where we could probably use a full-time CFO. So we're actually in the market looking. But in the interim, we continue to use a ProCFO resource who's, Holly's off doing what Halle does. And she's got another person in her firm that we continue to use. They continue to provide great value for us. So.
That's great. What's next for you, John? Serial entrepreneur. Are you happy doing what you're doing and seeing this organization grow, or the future is wide open and who knows, or what?
Well, so I have this company, plus I have a small software startup down in Cincinnati, but this is the one that I work in every day. So I'm not sure how to answer that question. That's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm not sure. I tried retirement once. It's definitely not for me. It's just not. So
good for you, John. And I think Despir is probably happy about that. Probably fortunate for them that.
I think it depends on the day, right? But I get a lot of satisfaction out of what I do. In fact, we had a company every quarter. We do a state of the company meeting, and we pull everybody in. And I think we're 45, 46 people today, and there'll probably be over 100 for the Christmas party. So that's, yeah.
Congratulations. That's no small thing to build something like you guys have done with.
It's been fun, it really has. Hair raising, there's no question about that. You have to be kind of an adrenaline junkie. Some guys like going to the racetrack and betting on horses, and I think that that's just a form of madness. And people look at me and they think that this is a form of madness. So
I think you're kind of betting on yourself and the people around you that you trust, and I'll take those odds any day.
It's been good. We've been very fortunate.
John Carr is CEO, managing partner at Despir Logistics. They are at DESPIR logistics.com. John, you've been very gracious and generous with your time this morning, and as such a busy guy as I know you are and must be, I really appreciate that. We're very grateful for that time today. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, and a special thanks to our subscribers. Consider becoming one today. Visit ProCFOPartners.com for more strategies and ideas for financial management and growth to help you put your business's financial picture in context.